Hi, book club members. I'm Jen.
And I'm Carrie.
And this is Warhammer 40k Book Club, where we read from a crag. This is episode number 168, and our book is Demolisher by Andy Clark. It tells the continuing saga of Lieutenant Etsul and her ragtag crew of steel tread. We posted several questions on our website, WH40kbookclub.com, and we encourage participation in our conversations via YouTube, our site, or Encrypted Box channel. Spoiler warning. My God, we're going to be talking about this book from start to finish in great detail. So be sure to check out the book before listening to this episode to avoid spoilers. I totally messed that up, but we're just going to go with it. Squirrel! It has been a week, and it's only Wednesday.
Yeah, it's been that kind of week.
It has been that kind of week. Ask me about ledgers. No, don't. As always, Carrie, did you like the book?
I really love this book. It's a good thing I did because because life has been so chaotic. I've been putting off this book forever to do other things. And I literally read this book in 2 days. And if it wasn't so enjoyable or such a fast read, I don't think that would have been possible.
That's probably true. Those are hard when you leave them to the end and then you're like, ugh. Spoiler warning for the end of the podcast.
At least I know I still got it. I can still pound a book in 2 days.
This is good. This is good.
I interrupted you. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was saying that spoiler warning, I'm a little worried about that for the next book. I know that I'm probably going to end up putting it off until the end, and then I'm going to struggle with it. But anyways, we'll get there at the end. I have a feeling. Y'all got a feeling about it. I enjoyed the book. I wanted to love the book, but we're going to talk so much more about why I ended up not loving this book. But
basically, what I've learned about Jen tonight is that she doesn't like fun.
Oh, for goodness sake. It's not fun. Oh. We're going to get there. What part stood out to you, Carrie?
Oh, well, I don't want to say what stood out because we're going to get into the, near the end. But
okay.
But basically, like, this book probably has one of my nominations for the biggest oh my God moment of the year. Not only that, but man, the commissar with what she just, when she intervened in an execution, and what she said is like, okay, you know what? You're a bitch. You are a complete bitch, but you're pragmatic.
Oh, I loved her. Oh my God, I loved her. Obviously, she's not the protagonist of this book, but she was delightful. Oh my God, did I love her. She is not there to... What's the way to say this? She's not there to help.
No.
She's there to ensure. And my God, yeah. The pragmatism. Actually, one of my favorite lines, and we'll talk more about Thetics. Thetics is how I was saying
That's
it.
That's how
yeah.
I was saying it.
Thetics. I did
not
like
listen
on page
to this one, so.
I did like on page 98 where it says, where she's kind of observing the eagle adamant, and she says the Magos had rarely seen the like from a non-transhuman. Just how focused this lady is, right? Oh, I also did like at the very end when she's talking with Etsul, and Etsul says that she for 1 minute sees the tired old woman.
Yes.
And then it's just gone. It's just gone.
Another line that I liked was when Etsul and one of the sisters and Vaslav, they were trying to leave, and he was injured, and he's like, I'll go as fast as I can. And the sister's like, may I? He's like, may you what? And she just throws him over her shoulder. And Etsul's like, power armor? And the sister's like, and the will of the emperor. But yes, power armor helps.
I loved that. I also loved, where is that line? I love when she's talking with the sister superior, and the sister superior is like, you're going to get rescued. And Etzel's like, let's see. Oh, you'll cling to those relics till the end, throw your lives away for them. And she says, we shall die in as glorious martyrs in his name, seeing our duty through. I think you and I have very similar nights planned then, sister. I laughed at that.
Yeah.
That was my type of gallows humor.
Because that sister, Jayan, could not stand her. I was like, oh my God, you're like that typical sister who's just so short sighted. So
They're just they're
they're
just
they're things, as my mom would have said. They're just things.
and here's the thing is that sometimes I understand, right? Like in the book that we read, with the Krieg book that we read, I kind of understood it because those were Chaos Space Marines. They were clearly doing chaos stuff, right? They are here, like getting their hands on a martyr's bones. That would be
Hmm.
a very powerful gesture to the
Yes.
dark gods, right? This is not that. This is not this. This just looks to be your run of the mill like invasion. And yeah, you're sitting in here because you are letter of the law people, not spirit of the law people. Um, God, the sisters kind of piss me off. But I liked that Etzel was appropriately. I feel
I
like
liked
Etzel's not the
Pharaoh.
first.
I liked Pharaoh a lot.
Mhm. I liked her. I liked her. She was good.
And
Um,
Gamina. Although I'm sad that she died.
oh, Jamina killed me when she died. I was like, no. But again, she kind of goes out like a badass, doing something.
Like what was it? What was the line where it said that it almost moved Etzel to tears? That how Gamina was like, you know, reverently, gently carrying Nyx, to the steel tread. And she's like, and when she grabbed the traitor, it was like with less ceremony.
less less kindness. So Etzel is back. Do we still love her? Is she? How does she handle stepping up into this role?
The best she could with what she had, with the experience she had. And I'm just glad
Right.
it was one of those. It ended up being that, this, and she's just like, man, should I really be here? I was like, oh my God, are we going to be like, slitting our wrists over this stuff? Like, I don't know, like a Sister Repentia, only to find out, no, she shouldn't have been.
She's not even supposed to be
That's
here
right. She was
today.
totally Randall.
It was Dante. Randall.
Oh gosh, you're right.
Randall's just there for there. Yes, she was but not that Dante.
Right.
Um,
Different
is
Dante.
she? Although technically, I think Dante also kind of has that. I'm not even supposed to be here. Anyways, um, yes, I actually kind of liked that as well. Where of this revelation at the end that nope, no, you weren't supposed to be here, and this is you are in so above your head. I actually really liked when the eagle adamant says that to her too. She's like, yeah, no, you were not ready for this particular level. I do see glimmers and I do see hope for you, but you are not. This is not your cup of tea quite yet, right? Um, I like that, and I actually thought that Etzel handled that revelation pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did like her though. I liked how still dedicated she is to her crew. I thought, as you said, she was doing the best she could with what she had, with her skill set.
And she definitely was more seasoned. Like obviously she now knew, because then Steel Tread, she just met this crew. Now she has not only does she know how to command them and lead them, but they respect her greatly.
Right. Um, I I just thought it was really nice. Again, when sometimes you come back to these characters and you're like, I don't know about this one, but it was very good. It was a good amount of growth for her. She wasn't a completely different person. She wasn't completely like and now I'm basically ready to be promoted to a general.
Right.
Uh, I like to see her stumble. I like to see she was obviously in her most element, like her best in her element when she was within Steel Tread, calling
Yes.
shots from Steel Tread. That I felt like right there, I was like, yep, there you go. That's the Etzel we know and love.
Yes.
But the crew is back. Do we still like the crew? Who was your favorite in this book, and how messed up were you when Treve died?
I was very messed up when Treve died. Um,
I'm
yeah, I was.
a little pissed.
I was glad that Moretson didn't die because I just wasn't sure, especially because that one chapter left it on a cliffhanger what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think it went to like Thedix's point of view. It was like, I don't care about what this bitch is doing. I don't remember what it was, but it was like somebody else's point of view. The next chapter, I was like, no, you can't do that. No.
Get back to Zen.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that coming. I guess I really hoped that they were all going to come in the end.
And
I'm
Treve,
surprised
of
it was
all
Treve.
people. Yes,
Like,
you could have killed Vero and I would have been less sad.
no, I really like Vero. I would have been really crushed with Vero. But like Moretson, maybe I wouldn't have been as crushed. She was funny, but I wouldn't have been as crushed.
Yeah, she's funny. Oh, I was just so sad. But unfortunately, that was a good ending for him because,
Yeah.
just his faith and his positive outlook. I was kind of like, man, this guy is too pure for the Warhammer 40k universe. And sure enough, he was too pure for the 40k. I was a little devastated. I was sad. I liked what he did with the Vaslav. I like that Vaslav is now in charge of his own tank.
Yeah.
But I was very happy when he and Etzel were together again.
Oh yeah, and
they're a great combo.
And then he was like in with the whole crew. Like she assigned him like, would you please go be with what's her name, Bray, over in the Chimera, like so you can still lead your own tank. But I love like because even when he kind of was joined up with them, is like they fell right back into that rapport that they all have with one another.
Mm-hmm. I did like that everybody also felt the loss of Vaslav too. And not just because they didn't like Grieger. They genuinely just missed Vaslav. Etzel had pulled them all together at the end of last book, and then to even just lose one, right? And now they've lost Treve and Grieger. I mean, technically they still have an opening on their crew. So now in the next book, they're going to have two people.
Yep.
Step in. Good luck, everyone. Good luck.
Because there will be another book because Thedix got away.
We're going to talk so much more about that later. But yes, there will be another book. I'm a little excited. Let's talk about the Eagle Adamant, shall we? Because I feel like really to discuss a lot of this book, it really is the relationship or the interactions between Etzel and the Eagle Adamant. But first off, did you like her? Was she a good, big air quotes around good commissar?
Like I said, like she's a bitch, but she's practical and pragmatic. So
yes.
She doesn't throw her weight around needlessly.
But she also makes it very clear.
Very clear. But I mean,
she is not to be argued with.
No, and I got really pissed.
Except for when apparently she is.
I got really pissed at her when Etzel was like, I think we need to send scouts and to St. Vantage. And the commissar was like, oh, you're stupid. This is cowardice. Just go on in. They went on in, nearly all got slaughtered. And she's like, well, this is your fault. And she's like, you said to go in. If you had had a backbone, maybe we would be alive. It's like, are you kidding me? If she'd had a backbone, wouldn't you put a bullet in her skull? I mean.
So on one hand, I was like, whew, okay, you're right, but you're out of line. Like, you're absolutely right, because the commissar's not in charge of this mission at all. You're escorting her. And really, she has no military authority. So when you were like, we need to pause and we need to send scouts, and she was like, nope, we're barreling ahead, that would have been your key to say, no, we're waiting right now. You don't have command here. Having said that, and I think this just shows Etzel's immaturity as a commander, right? Because because she still thinks like a soldier. Oh, I'm going to argue with the commissar and get a bullet in the back of my head? I don't think so.
Well, I probably would have thought the same thing. I think
100%.
I think a lot of commissars would have done that. Like, excuse me, do you know who I am?
I would say 50-50 on that, right? 50-50, like you get a commissar who's like, you what?
Like, for example, when Thomason was losing it, That's how I'm saying his name, Thomason.
Same.
For my simplicity's sake, I'm not going to get into some Polish pronunciation on this. Uh, when Thomason was losing it, she didn't even try talking to him. She just outright killed him. So right
Oh,
there,
that I actually agreed with. 100% I agreed with that when she did that.
okay, but that being said, why would Etzel not think she would have killed her too?
Yes, and that's the thing, right? That and this
She's
is I
very
think
hypocritical there. Basically,
I think she doesn't understand her own. I think this is the thing
I
my
know. I
read
think the
on that.
commissar was like, you can't put the blame on me. Do you know who I am? I'm not the one in charge. It's your fault. Yes, I told you not to do this, but please, why are you listening to me? It's like, I don't know, because you have the right to kill anybody for whatever reason. I don't know. That to me was so
I disagree with that.
She was so
I actually
hypocritical in that
disagree with
moment.
that. I think that unfortunately, I don't think it was hypocritical. I read it as her being like, this was a leadership test. Like the first thing was a leadership test, and a seasoned commander, a seasoned person would have absolutely told me, would have talked with me in that moment, but you didn't. Now, having said that, how
Then,
is Etzel supposed to know that? How is Etzel supposed to know that you're not going to put a bullet in her head? Because
like
again,
she did
and
to
this is one of the,
Thomason.
well, Thomason deserved that though, because
I
he was literally arguing with his commanding officer and telling his commanding officer to pound sand.
No, because she didn't give him a chance to back down. The commissar could have told him,
He
like,
was hysterical.
now if she told him to calm down and he kept on going, sure, 100%. But she did it without any warning, even to the point where Etzel. So again, which is where I'm coming from in this and saying, I think she totally would have killed Etzel if Etzel disobeyed her. I 100% believe that because of what she did with Thomason, because she cannot be in the wrong. So that's where I say she's a complete bitch. Yes, Thomason was in the wrong, but she didn't even try. There was no warning growl. None of it. And even like some of the worst commissars we have ever seen, at least will say something before they put the bullet in the head. She didn't even do that. She
I
didn't
don't
get
know.
courtesy.
My read on that situation was that Thomason was hysterical. She can hear that Etzel is like, dude, what are you doing? You need to do this. She's barking orders at him, and he is hysterical. And also, given the point that they are in this battle and how desperate it has been, I think that was also sort of Etzel being like, anybody else? Does anybody else want to have this little temper tantrum here? Like, I kind of felt like that was her being like, I'm going to get control of this situation, and I'm getting control of this situation right now. We are no longer having any, because you can imagine everyone around Thomason probably being like, okay, back to work, right? Like, we need to get this back under. I actually really liked her there, but I absolutely agree with you. And this was one of the things that did pissed me off, because I'm like, how is, and maybe this is the thing too with the Eagle Adamant, like, are you so deeply ingrained with the commissariat, and are you so in love with, like, are you so accustomed to knowing you and how you are, and do you have this idealized version of a commissar that you're like, no, you should have argued with me. You should have at least pushed back on me and we could have had a discussion. It never even occurred to you that there are commissars out there who would shoot people for that? Like, I'm trying to figure out here. Do you have commissariat privilege?
I just
I don't
interpreted
know.
that she can't be wrong. So I didn't disagree with her killing Thomason until she started barking at Etzel for pushing back against her. And I'm like, you just shot that guy. And you would think that she would, I don't know. It's just so, why didn't you read my mind? Type of thing. And it totally to me was like deflecting of, well, I'm a commissar. You can't blame me for anything. That's,
Oh, I didn't feel like it was that. It feels to me, it almost felt like this weird, I'm not saying this was healthy, but like this weird, like, I'm trying to, I wanted you to learn from this. Like, I wanted to see what you could do. It almost felt like a teacher-student relationship of
nah,
like,
never got
you
that
didn't
from
even
her.
ask? Okay.
Because when she wrote up at the end and she was like, you're not going to kill him, I was like, oh God, here she goes. There's going to be some dumbass commissariat excuse, why they can't kill him for whatever reason, like she's in on it, or she knows that he's from the noble house, went to listen to that. So that's when she redeemed herself to me, when she was just like, no, he's got to answer for all of this,
Right.
So that was the only time I was like, okay, I guess I kind of like you. And then I got disappointed again when she was like, I totally could have killed you just for the losses here. I was like, what a waste.
Yeah.
But y'all, this is where I can't stand you guys, because you cut off your nose to spite your face. You need strong people, but because you might have lost 80% because someone who shouldn't have been there in the first place was there and they were still successful, could have killed her anyway. What message does that send out to everybody? Yes, I got morale now, even when I do my job.
She says that though. She's like, I could kill you for this, but I feel like I'd be doing the enemy's work for them, because she acknowledges, she's like, technically,
but the
there
fact
is rules.
that
There are rules for this.
that's even a thing, it just,
Oh yeah,
I hate them for. I hate how it's like that they're just willing just to waste, just to, well, you didn't do exactly the way I wanted you to do this. Like, this was not within acceptable parameters. Like, this is not some stupid board meeting where you lost like the stockholders a lot of meeting. Like, these are like people, and they just don't care. And I know that's a thing in the Warhammer 40k universe, but you see some leaders and some commissars who actually care. So when you get to a Lord Commissar who doesn't care, it just grinds my gears.
actually, one of the things I liked about this is the one thing that I kind of liked about it in this case, is that Etzel didn't make all the right decisions. And I think she could have handled a lot of that stuff better, right? Like, they lost a lot because she wasn't ready for that level of command, right? And she made a lot of, and she's human, so I'm not saying like, imagine being that
and
stupid.
I believe that
But,
was
like,
the commissar's fault for some of that. So I'm just going to go back for that, because they had done what Etzel would have wanted. They probably wouldn't have had the 80% losses. And like,
right. And I go back to saying she should have said that and been like, no, absolutely not. She probably even could have said that and waste the Emperor's troops. Come on, lady.
and then be shot
I
for
don't know.
cowardice. I mean,
Mayhaps.
there's no winning.
Exactly.
There's absolutely no winning in this argument. So from Etzel's point of view, but not only does she not make the right decisions a lot of the time, she knew she made mistakes. But at the same time, she took what she had and she did what she could. So in a way, when you find out she wasn't even supposed to be here today, it all makes sense. Like, this wasn't.
Yes. And I think that also stayed. The Eagle Adamant's hand as well. You weren't even supposed to be here, and you really did. You did the best with what you could here, lady.
I don't know.
So let's divert then, because there's two real villains in this book, right? There's two villain subplots. Let's start with FedEx, and then we'll move on
That's
to
the
Yadish.
easier one.
Yeah, FedEx is the easier one. Was she compelling, and did she add anything to the narrative? Were you invested in her? Did you care? Do you care about her? Like,
I didn't care about her. I think she also made a lot of mistakes. She should have just killed them all. Oh my goodness! Instead of being like, I'm running a little experiment. You're stupid. You're just stupid. However, one thing I will say,
Vashtor is disappointed in you.
What I will say though is that she created a delightful horror environment that I was on edge for the entire time. We got a murder fog. I love it.
Oh my god! I did not like FedEx. I think that Andy Clark he revealed his hand way too early that she was spying on them. I think having Etzel kind of suss that out would have been much more rewarding without FedEx. I didn't like that. In her chapters, I was like, oh, Jesus, do we have to with her? But I agree with you, absolutely. Like, we didn't need her, because that fog, the static, the monsters,
the wailing,
the horror, oh my god.
It was like everything.
My god.
I was like, I am here for the murder fog. Like,
oh my god.
The murder fog and the monsters coming out of the ground. This is amazing. Not
this
only
is
that,
excellent.
But after you kill them, they
in the
explode.
box.
It's like, this is video game material, man. This is like, I was
Oh my
totally.
God. So video game material. Absolutely. You could absolutely see that, right? So for anybody who played Silent Hill 2, what's the sound that the monsters are coming, that Pyramid's head coming? The siren, the air raid siren goes off, right? So that's exactly where my mind went. And of course, the colors change, everything changes. It was giving Silent Hill 2 vibes. It was giving Fatal Frame 2 vibes. It was giving all of the right things because you have like this, like the sound going off and the vox ghosting and static in there. Loved it all. Like this was so wonderful. This is so good. It's so amazing. Absolutely loved that. This was like one of the first, and again, we've talked about this a lot because when was the last time that we had a horror book in the horror series? Anybody?
Was it
Anybody?
Deacon of Wounds?
It might have been, and I want to say that was like 4 years ago now.
Probably.
It's been a spell. And part of the reason that we've always said that is that it was a little weird because the 40k universe is kind of horrific in and of itself. And so I just keep feeling like we find these little random horror novels that just kind of crop up, right? In places you don't expect them. And I was not expecting Demolisher to be a horror novel.
Nope.
And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness,
yeah.
goodness.
I loved it.
Absolutely loved it. That was so effective that when we would come to her chapters and with her explaining stuff, I'm like, you are taking away some of the horror. Please let this continue to be a mystery for me.
Like, I don't
I
need
don't need to see the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. I was about to say, like, I don't need to see the man behind the curtain here.
I don't need to see this. I don't need to see this. Please just go back and give me the scary stuff. Really, really loved that. I loved all of you could hear it and you could feel it. And quite frankly, yeah, the monsters were terrifying.
Yeah. All of them.
I think I've gone on record saying that my favorite Resident Evil game of all time was Resident Evil Nemesis. And apparently Resident Evil Requiem has something similar to Nemesis with Mr. X. I have not yet played it because I cannot be having the same thirst trap that my daughter is having, Leon Kennedy. But
yeah, but he's our age. Like, apparently he's actually it takes place in 2027 and he's 50. I was like, great. He and I are the same age. That's amazing.
Yeah. It is actually kind of amazing. I'm like, and he's still killing monsters. It's because Gen X is aging flawlessly. What can we say?
That is true. I also will say, just totally randomly here, that I did find on Instagram, someone had made a mod that turns the spiders into Thomas the Tank Engine, and it is probably scarier than the damn spiders are.
Yes. Well, because that's just, that is,
this big old spider's supposed to be coming down on top of Leon, and it's Thomas the Tank Engine with that creepy smile. I'm like, no, this is not okay. This is not okay.
One of my daughter's favorite movies is Bullet Train, and there's a lot of Thomas the Tank Engine references in that. And so she's like really excited for that mod. But yes, anyways, one of my favorite games in the series was Nemesis because of the way that Nemesis was just kind of hunting you and the way that he would show up with that stars. And it was so creepy and wonderful. And so this thing with those baleful yellow eyes looking directly at it. Oh my God. I was here for it.
It was like, well, the shriekers and the spinebacks made me think a lot of Gears of War.
Right, because the spinebacks we had seen before, but then the shriekers, yes, absolutely thought of Gears of War with that. I imagine them being the guys that, I can't remember the guys that are called, but the ones who like sit there and scream. That's the gesture they make before they scream.
Yeah, but when you hear it, you're like, oh, crap. Where are they?
I can't think of what they're called.
No, but I actually can hear that scream in my head, so that's
I can
fun.
too, yeah. Oh, yeah, because when you were playing Horde mode and one of those things would show up, like, oh my God, everybody stop what you're doing and go kill that thing. Find it. Seriously, especially like in the later levels, like when you're on the higher levels of Horde mode and those things would show up, and especially if there'd be like two or three of them and you're just like, maybe?
The big females that are blind?
Yeah, that was the thing that would do that thing where its arms would go back and it would crane its head back and it would do that.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it was terrible. But really liked that. Aesthetics just kind of, I thought, that kind of took the wind out of my sails in her chapters, and just, do we care that she's working for Vashtor?
No, not really. I was enjoying the boss fight and then the final boss fight going on outside. And then it was like, oh, Bob, she just got away. I'm like, oh, well, I don't care. Like, can I go back to all that? Like,
And it was a great final boss fight.
It
Great
was.
final boss fight, right? Even more satisfying than the previous one, because these guys were actually like in the thick of it.
The fact that Gelt
And
is
then-
out of her tank shooting at it with the pistol, like,
I loved Gelt.
because
so
I can totally
much.
see that being the final boss fight. You're armed with nothing but a pistol, and you have to survive long enough for the planes to come in.
Yep. I did like that when she like shoots at it and it dies, and everyone's like, did she just kill it with a pistol for a hot second there before they piece together what's going on?
Right. And then she's like, well, I'm out of here. Time to go.
But Thaddeus herself, I was really mid on, and they're like, oh, she got away. And I was like, then what was the point of her?
Oh, because she's building all these demon engines and stuff. So now the experiment must go
Meh.
on.
Meh. Her chapters felt so much like filler.
Well,
to
we'll
me.
see what happens in the third one, when she achieves her final form.
When she finally builds the perfect demon engine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm here to see what she can build.
And she
I'm
rides
here
atop
for
of
it.
it like it's a Brumac from Gears of War. That could be fun.
That could be fun. But like at this point, what I want, and I'm going to make a really ancient reference here, but I want her to be like Mrs. Price up on a broom, flying across the sky, singing Traguna McCoy, Tracorum Sanus C, while all of her demon engines are walking beneath her. That's right. I want bed knobs and broomsticks for the end of this one.
Still one
I
of my
want her up
favorite
there.
Disney movies ever. Fight me.
Oh, it's because it's a flawless masterpiece.
That's right.
Everyone knows that the Nazis were defeated with witchcraft. Anyways, and suits of ancient armor.
Makes sense to me.
If you have not seen this and you have Disney Plus, fix the glitch. Anyways, that's what I want her to be at the end. I just want her to be up there with all of her like little demon engines beneath her as she gives a rousing speech. And then Etzel shoots her in the face. She can't win. She can't win. But that's all I want for her in her life. I mean, I'm glad. I liked that she got I liked that she got away, because that means we're going to get a third book.
Right.
And I love these characters so much. I was really excited for that. But I was also kind of like, oh, okay. Like, what was the point of her that you could have just revealed in the third book that BT Dubs, this bitch orchestrated this whole thing. All 3 books have been orchestrated by this lady. And I'd have been like, oh, that's not nice.
Although I did agree with Etzel, like about probably halfway through the book where she was getting all frustrated with everything that's going on. She's like, why are we still here on this planet? What worth does this planet have? I'm like, I also have such questions. Like, what worth does this planet have? It's got to be something here.
You know what? I'm starting to feel like that more and more with so many of these 40K books. Like, we see it more and more, right? Or sometimes it's very obvious, but sometimes you're like, at what point do we just cut our losses and run?
Right. Or do we just summon some local space marines to come in and just take care of this? If this planet is worth like so much at this point, like it confuses me.
Ours is not to wonder why. Ours is to do and die.
Or just keep reading and
All
be
right.
like, meh.
I guess it was worth it. All right, let's talk about Yadish, because he's kind of the other villain of the book, right? Was he compelling? Did he add to the narrative?
Yes.
Did you like him as a villain?
So my thing with him is that I was convinced he was an inquisitor.
Oh, I think that's definitely what Andy Clark wanted you to think. Because I also was like, I didn't think he was an inquisitor, but I thought he was working for one.
Well,
and that
right,
is
if he's not an inquisitor, he's like an
100%.
interrogator. He's part of a retinue. something, because why
Yes.
else is he doing all these things, but yet he's obviously not a heretic. So
I did like his reaction when she was like, have you been working
yeah.
with them? And he was like, oh my God, how dare you, madam? Like,
And it
yeah,
was,
I think that was 100% the misdirection. Andy Clark was definitely pointing you
but
in that
right, another
direction because we're
misdirection,
working off our assumptions.
because the quarry would be Thetics, right? Because it makes sense. That's where they're heading. That's where they're going.
Or the Eagle Adamant or Etzel. I was actually a little bit low key worried that it was going to be some nonsense with like the Eagle Adamant or with Etzel. I was actually kind of worried for a hot minute there around the midway point that it was going to be the Eagle Adamant and that maybe she wasn't who she claimed to be. She pissed off an Inquisitor. Like there was going to be
Right.
something that they're like, and here's the dramatic reveal.
Oh, or man, or they could have been like an assassin.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, they could absolutely have been an assassin who was sent here because some larger cog needs
Yep.
her to die. Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
So, and it felt like it was
And
too easy for it to be Thetics, but but I was like, but it makes, but if this is an Inquisitor, then that's what I think it would be. But if this is an assassin, it's got to be the Eagle Adamant or Etzel. Did not see the actual reality coming, and that's actually probably one of my biggest oh my god moments, because I didn't see it coming.
Oh, I didn't. One thing I didn't like with Grieger, I thought that he painted him as too much of an asshole in the beginning. In fact, very early on, I was like, "Oh, is this Yadish? Is this the dude from the beginning?" Because he's just a little too much of a dick, and he's a little too
No, I had
antagonistic,
no
right?
clue. I
I was like,
honestly thought,
something's
no,
not right
I
here.
just thought he was just, I mean, I did not think that he was the same person. So that shocked me when that was revealed, mainly because I was like, well, this Grieger guy, but how many of these have we seen that are like this or just kind of assholes?
100%.
So
Oh yeah.
it just
Oh no.
kind of fit.
The only reason I thought that was because of that opening chapter. Because of the opening chapter and because he specifically said he needed orders forged, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be that guy. But to what end? And that's why I was also thinking about the Eagle Adamant is I'm like, oh, okay, to what end? Now, I will say with Nyx, because they made it so very clear that he had something on Nyx, right? Something was going on there. I was thinking that maybe she stumbled across the plot. Maybe she was low key in on it, or maybe she knew something that she wasn't supposed to know. Like I kind of felt like that's where it was going. And then it took a left turn at Albuquerque. But I have to say, before we get into the left turn at Albuquerque, one of my complaints with this is that we have a wonderful horror novel going on here. We have murder fog, as you coined it. We've got murder fog. We've got monsters that explode. We've got monsters that explode out of the ground. Um, did we need a dude hunting someone on top of all of this?
No, but I enjoyed
Maybe.
it.
So Nyx is really a princess escaped from a planet where she decided to rebrand herself as a ganger because she was a unique and daring rebel rebelling against her father. Did it fit with her character? Did it serve the narrative? Did you like it?
I mean, I don't think it really fit her character, but I mean, if she became a ganger and really loved being in the gang, well then okay, sure. You know, and if she really was like one of I don't know how many kids, she's like, well, who cares, right? No, but it was just interesting that this guy would do all of this and think nothing of it, because do you know who my master is? That's
It definitely
kind of where I came from.
right. It made me question her entire character. It actually made me really not like her character. And I kind of liked Nyx at the end of last book. And I kind of liked her at the beginning of this book.
Nah, I never liked Nyx. I haven't forgiven her for nearly trying to kill Etzel.
Yeah, they mentioned that specifically in this. And then I was a little spicy about it again too. I was like, "Oh, that's right. That's why I did not like you to begin with." I kind of wish they would have just let Yadish take her. Like,
Yep.
you could have gone now. You could have gone. But it also made in the first book, it made it like I didn't like her and I didn't agree with it, but she's this ganger. She's this rough and tough ganger, right? Who was born into a gang and raised in the streets, and she has this very much street mindset, right? So then to discover that, oh, no, 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 I'm just cosplaying as this. I mean, like I ran away like 10 years ago and like I became a ganger. And so now that's my whole personality. I was like, nah,
Mm.
no, this isn't jiving for me.
No, I don't know. I think we hear enough stories about, even in modern day of kids of wealthy families that, try to become gangers and then they get too far involved in the gang and don't and not able to get back out either by choice or other reasons. So it was, I mean, and we've seen that in so many other books too, where these wealthy kids, they go to the underhive for some excitement and then they get caught up in something that they probably shouldn't have. And that's what I think what had happened to her. Is like, oh, I'm just here for fun. Oh crap, now I'm in a gang. Actually, this is kind of fun. These people, like, they're nicer, they're more family than my own family is. Okay, this fits. And then just kind of stuck with it. I have to say that this guy is not a very good bounty hunter if he couldn't find her before this point.
Okay. And also, he's not a very good bounty hunter because, my God, you sly dog, you got him monologuing like 5 times. You got him monologuing. Like, oh my God, dude. First off, you have a gun. A gun is a ranged weapon. Like, use it. Don't dance with it. And the fact that like that was one of the things where I was like, oh my God, couldn't you have killed Vero at this point? Where Vero was not even asking like like deep questions that I would be like, okay, I understand why he decided he wanted to answer that. Vero's just stalling for time, and that's the oldest playbook. Like to your point, you're
Mm-hmm.
not very good at this, are you? Like
But
first
I
day,
think he was so
this is your first
cocky.
job.
He's so overconfident, but he was so overconfident and cocky this whole time. Like he had everybody go and meet, and they're like, "What are you doing? They're gonna figure this out. We just can't, we just can't come and meet like this." But might have actually gotten the other girl killed because they're like,
Yeah.
"Where have you been?" Or she
Oh
said,
yeah, when he said that she died, I was like, did she?
or like he's talking into his ring or something. Like other people are just like, dude, not now. Like he was just so cocky and overconfident. And he also just figured that, well, because of where I came from in this noble house on this other planet, I can do whatever I want anyway.
He
Because,
wasn't the one who called the meeting. That was that other guy because that guy was definitely new to this. Because remember, he was pissed at that guy for calling that meeting. But yeah, the fact that he kept talking into his ring and stuff,
yeah.
I'm like, you're not very sly, are you? And then, of course, my hands have been untied this whole time. I'm very good. Really, dude. Um, that kind of ripped me out of the story. I was not a fan of it. I did like though. On the other hand, having said this, I did appreciate that. I was like, oh man, is it going to be something like he's going to kill the eagle adamant or something like that? I was actually glad that was not on my bingo card.
Yes.
That Nyx was a runaway princess.
Nope. So thanks, Sandy Clark. I didn't see that part coming at all.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but it was okay. I think I even texted you. I was like, well, this book just took a left at Albuquerque.
Yeah. So when I got to that part, I was like, well, there's the left turn. But I'm here for it because I find it entertaining and fun.
Yeah, I sent you that, and then I was like, ooh, I hope I didn't spoil anything, or if you're going
Nah.
to be sitting there like, where's the left turn? So then when the left turn came up, I was glad you at least knew it. My concern is that you're going to come in and be like, what are you talking about, a left turn? And then I'd be like, oh, was I just being a hater? At least you recognized it.
Well,
I mean, I'm
kind
a
of.
hater, but at least you recognize. Yeah, I mean, I'm a hater, but not just like for the love of the game, right? I'm not 50 Cent level of hater yet. I do aspire, though. So here's the multi-million-dollar question. Did this book live up to the hype?
For me, yeah. I had a great time.
Andy Clark knows his way around a good battle. He knows his way around a fight. He makes the tanks are hard, right? Because it's not as up close and personal, but somehow Andy Clark makes it super up close and personal. So it's all like on the edge of your seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Murder fog. Oh, murder fog. I'm here for it. I'm just here for like the atmosphericness of this.
Or when the super monster, the final boss, when he's on top of the the tank, and she's just like, oh my god, because like the fear coming in. She's like, don't let him in here, don't let him in here. It's like, I can hear this. This is so great. Now,
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
now, if this was
that dread that everyone would
yes,
feel.
now if this was a movie, I couldn't have handled it because I don't do jump scares, but I love reading this crap.
I did like when they're I did like the when they're all like when they figure out that these things are burrowing up and they can take large things
Yeah,
underground, right? Do you want our tank to be dragged off? Oh, that is an existential threat. Like that is mm,
yeah, I'm all thinking of Tremors.
again. Yes. Yes, very much like Tremors. Again, I like Andy Clark, you know your way around a horror novel, and I'm like I would
Mhm.
love to see more. Not obviously I want more Etzel in general,
Right.
but I would like to see him write more of just a horror novel.
Yeah, because there's something unsettling about a tank going into the fog, and then you like hear it screaming as a monster is pulling it even deeper. It's feel like, okay, we're not going in there.
Maybe not right
Right.
now. That is not our truth. Uh, yeah, that was again, it was very cinematic. It was very video game-ish. It was very you could imagine it, you could picture it, just vivid pictures of all of this. And it was scratching a lot of the horror itches that I have.
Which I think he did pretty well in Steel Tread too, with that whole idea of that demon engine. They didn't know where it was coming from. And then when it came, it was just
Hmm.
like, oh crap, oh crap. And again, very actiony, very video game esque. And you're trying to get out of these areas, right, where this big monster thing is stalking you because it's not time for the boss fight just yet. You have to
Right,
survive.
right. You survived this. Okay, that was the only thing about Thadex, by the way, that I did like. I did like how pissy she was that it killed her knight.
Right,
Like how dare she, Carrie? It was almost very motherly. Like she was
right.
very trying to be very scientific about it too, but just like that was her precious baby boy, and Etzel killed it.
Like, I grew this from a lab. I like created this. Like, yes. Very much
Exactly.
like how a regular Mechanicus would have been with some of their, I can't even think of the name, but like going back to like the Huron Blackheart book, remember that Mechanicus? And she had her
Yes.
automatons that are with her. It's kind of like that. Yeah. These are my
Yes.
children.
Yes. They very much get this maternalistic or paternalistic if it's a male one, male admech. They get this very much as maternalistic. And Thaddeus definitely had that.
Hmm.
That was the only thing I found a little bit interesting with her character was that she definitely had this. This isn't strictly a scientific, like, oh yes, I built this thing, and or it wasn't even like a, oh, I built this thing and I have a little bit of pride in it. There was like tremors of something that resembled emotion, and she's just pissed at Etzel because she killed her precious baby boy. You will never convince me otherwise.
Which I could actually see Fabulous Bill being the same way with some of his creations. You can't kill
Oh my
that.
God,
That's
yes,
mine to kill.
exactly, exactly. Um, I want another book. I want another book. I'm interested to see how Thaddeus, like what her master plan is, and I just want to see Etzel continue to be awesome.
Yeah, she got to keep her rank. So
She
just
did get to keep her rank, so that's nice, isn't it?
so I
She
mean,
didn't lose
we'll see.
Vastliv. If she would have lost Vastliv, I would have rioted. I would have burned this book. Um, Tree, Treve was hard enough. Okay,
Tree was
Treve
hard
was hard
enough.
enough. But low key, they could have taken Nyx. Like Etzel, like part of me wanted to just like put my hand on her shoulder and be like, maybe we just let this happen. Let's just see how this plays out.
I'm just gonna bring more video game references. Kind of like in Dragon Age 2. I was like, can you guys just take Meryl? Like, do I have to take her? Can't you guys take her? You guys don't like her. I don't like her. Can y'all just take her and kill her? No, no.
But she
Fine.
was a manic pixie dream girl. Her quirk was that she worships the devil. Very quirky. That was the whole time I played that game. If you guys have ever seen Coming to America, she was that lady. I've got a secret. I worship the devil. That was Meryl. In a
Oh
nutshell,
God.
somebody watched Coming to America and was like, "Okay, but hear me out. What if she was one of your what if she was one of your teammates?" God, I hated that. I'm still so pissed off at that game. Um, the rage comes bubbling up. If you romanced Anders, you know why I'm still pissed. Oh, wait, and don't forget Lincoln Park. Don't forget Lincoln Park.
Hey, his voice was amazing, okay?
They were like, what if we took an emo who's still mad at his parents and then we gave him the finest voice? The finest voice.
Yep.
Like Gabriel Ba, but with a fine voice. I think I just insulted all of the My Chemical Romance fans. Anyways, not as fine as that man's voice. Saying. But he was still mad at his parents.
He was the voice of a war. And what was that? Darksiders. He was also the voice of the main bad guy, if you could call him that, in everyone's favorite Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 13 too.
His name, I can't think of it now. So now I'm looking it up because this is super relevant to our
It is.
conversations that we're having right now. Not Dragon Age Origins 2, Dragon Age 2. It was just called Dragon Age 2.
Yeah,
Why are
there's no
you doing
Dragon
this
Age
to me?
Origins 2.
No, it's no. Well, I looked up Dragon Age 2 and now it's just giving me Dragon Age Origins. You are pissing me off, y'all.
I'm sure
Oh,
somebody
for
listening
goodness
to
sake.
this is yelling, "It's this person."
Please, if you remember it off the top of your head, put it in the comments, please, for sure. For oh my goodness, I can't even think of his name now. It was Fenris.
Yeah, Fenris.
Yeah, see, look at that. It just popped right in there.
You could have just looked up
I was like, I can't even think of it.
You could have just looked up Darksiders.
I guess I could have, huh? Because it's let's see. Oh, yep, there it is. Yep, Gideon Emery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a nice voice, sir.
A very nice voice, sir. God, I'm looking through some of the other stuff that he did. Holy cow. Just like, again, when you look through the video. So I will tell you that my daughter just started watching Rebels, the Star Wars show, and just Steve Bloom pops up in there as the voice. And I'm just like, oh, hi. Anyways, now that I have revealed all of my video game voice thirst traps, this book was good. I'm very glad about this book, but I will say that right now, much like as you waited until the end and then you were worried you were going to be able to get through it, but then you loved the book, so it made it really easy. I have the concern about our next book.
No. You have
the concern.
The concern?
I have the concern. I loved it, and I'm torn because I like David Annandale. David Annandale's a good author. But boy, oh boy, do I hate the word bearers.
Yeah, but you know what? I did read some Night Lords for you, so
we're gonna read it. God, don't be obscene. We're gonna read it.
And you know, you might actually like it.
I might, Rabbit. I might.
I mean, you never know.
We'll see. I left my copy upstairs, but it's Apostle by Dave Annandale. I'm really excited about it because it's David Annandale, and I feel like it's been a hot minute.
He looks like he's fun at parties.
Oh, he definitely looks like he gets drunk and talks politics.
Yep. But if you don't like it, at least it's kind of short.
Ooh, so the last David Annandale book we read was Yarick, Pyres of Armageddon.
Okay, but
that was an old book, though.
That was an old book. I think the last book he wrote was the last book he wrote in 40K was
Deacon of Wounds. And ask me, friends, when we read that. Remember that one time that I was like, oh, it was like 4 years ago. It was almost exactly 5 years ago because we posted the episode on March 12th, 2021.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really doesn't feel like it was really that long ago, but I guess that's what happens when you read so many of these books. I mean, what is this, our 168th book?
Yeah.
Yeah. They do blur together.
They do blur together. They blur together, and yeah, it kind of like the year, like really, and I don't know if anybody else feels this, but since COVID, what is time? What even is
It's
time?
true. It's true.
Um,
Because COVID did last 7 years. People forget that. 2020
pretty,
lasted 7 years.
yeah, but 2020 was also, and I can't explain this, like 2 years ago.
Yes, it was 7 years long and 2 years ago.
Exactly that.
I don't make the
I can't remember
rules.
if
This is
I
just
don't make
how
the
it
rules
is.
either. But like things happened in the last 6 years, and some things I'm like, oh my God, that was forever ago. And it was last year. And then other things I'm like, that was like 2 years ago. It was 6 years ago. So yeah, what is time? It is an illusion. And on that deep,
I was like,
weird note,
you know, it's not an illusion. Then I'm going to take us out, and we're going to get to reading this next wonderful book about, about word
smooth
bears.
like butter.
Yeah, I got, I mean, look at this. He's got his Crozius, and he's going to read you bedtime stories. This guy sounds amazing.
I'm telling you right now, I bet all of his friends love his sermons. They're like, no, low key, he does the best sermons.
I'm going to laugh if he's actually like, but I'm really kind of curious, like, well, which branch of word bearer are you? Are you
Are you a core ferret
yeah,
or an Erebus?
Erebus, or are you one of those that's just like, no, I'm really following Lorgar? Interesting.
You know what? That would actually kind of be awesome if that is the case. If he's like, okay, those two are both clowns. I'm here for Lorgar. Um, maybe he's on a quest to bring Lorgar out, to wake him up and bring him out, right? He's like, dude, even Perturbo is up now.
I still
You should
think
get up.
I still think Lorgar has regretted his decisions, but that's why he has left.
He's just sitting there contemplating on the tree of woe. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Like, I shouldn't have listened to Dad.
Just sits there the whole time like, I backed the wrong horse.
I should have listened to my real dad, not my adopted dad, because my adopted dad's a dick. Crap.
I feel like everyone knew they were dicks except for me.
Right. I mean, the guy beat me as a child, but he did it out of love, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you think he's just that guy who's like contemplating what the definition of is? Like, has he been sitting in there just like having his own deep stoner thoughts for 10,000 years of like, but what if?
Probably.
Bear with me for a second. What if? Right? Like, maybe he's that guy. Like, Fulgrim is out there just like reliving the Battle of Chemos over and over again. But then every now and then he comes off of that hill to be like, how can I torment some of my sons? Oh my God, I love this. And then he goes back to just reliving Chemos over and over again. Right? Perturbo was like, all right, something new happened. So I guess now I'm going to come out into the field because they destroyed Cadia. This sounds exciting.
Mortarion has been sent to his room, so he's a little busy.
Do you think maybe that'll be the thing? Like Lorgar will be like, whoa, wait, what? Huh. Like, I don't know. Now,
I could see Lorgar coming back and being like, hey, it's my brother that burned Monarchia. Remember when I punched him in the chest and he fell on his ass? Maybe he wants another.
Right. Could we just have another Primarch do something? Do you remember that one time? This is like a really funny story and like a deep cut, and I don't know if people really remember this, but do you remember that one time that the lion woke up and came back?
I don't. No.
What?
I think I dreamed that.
What has that guy been doing? Like, what has that man been doing this whole time?
Yeah, I think I dreamed that. I don't think it really happened.
I think, and before you take us out, it might be, you know what time it is? It's time to go and be reminded of when that happened, because I think that was 4 years ago now. It was 3 years ago. See, what is time? But still, 3 years ago, the lion woke up because we published the Lion, Son of the Forest. And May 15th, 2023.
Well, again, maybe we dreamed that.
Maybe. It was just a mass hallucination, much like Starbuck. It was never there. Battlestar Galactica references.
Wow. Okay.
You're welcome. On that note, maybe you should take us out.
Yeah, maybe before we go down some other hill. Like everyone stopped listening to this anyway. But for like
That is probably true.
the two people who have stayed, thank you. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. You deserve a little treat for that.
I don't got one for you, but we'll come up with one later. Oh, how about this? You have our eternal appreciation and gratitude. There.
Go take yourself to Dunkin'. Get you a coffee.
But not one of their iced coffees. Have you seen what's come out about how much sugar?
That's why you get their sugar free. Not sugar free. The
You just don't get the
non-sweetened
frappuccino
flavorings.
shit. You just get like a regular like cold brew. You add your own sugar and cream in it. That way, it's not full of anyway. Because somehow Starbucks and Dunkin' have figured out a way to take a cold brew, which has like no calories, and made it 500 calories. It's kind of amazing. You have to, kind of tip your hat to that a little bit.
Dunkin', here's my secret for you, is that Dunkin' has a flavor called toasted almond, and it's unsweetened. That's not like it's sugar-free with artificial sweetener. It's unsweetened. It's literally just a flavor with no sweetener. So if you get that plus almond milk plus your espresso, you don't get the 16,000 milligrams of sugar that they put into their other drinks. And it's delicious.
If you like almond, which,
Okay, I'm really sorry. You do have to like almond for it. And I do love it. My husband doesn't drink cold coffee at all, except he will drink that. When I go to get one, he's like, get me the same thing that you have.
Okay, well, now for the one person who is still here. So you've listened.
Go get you some dunks.
You've listened to the Warhammer 40k book club episode regarding Demolisher by Andy Clark. Be sure to join us next time for Apostle by David Annandale. We are an unofficial book club and not affiliated with the Black Library or any of its affiliates. You can find both the vidcast and podcast on our website, WH40k. Yes, WH40kbookclub.com. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, give a review, and all those wonderful things to the vidcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble, or the podcast literally anywhere you can get podcasts. Come join our Discord. Have fun discussions in there. Apparently, we've gotten big enough now that we have we have bots coming in. It's fun. Never thought we would get to that point where bots are actually coming in and joining on the fun, and then getting swiftly kicked out with my trusty banhammer. People they share what they're painting. There's a lot of memes. It's a lot of fun. You don't see what I paint because I suck at it. But other people, they have really, 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 really cool things going on. Our site also has articles about our adventures in reading other Warhammer 40k books and short stories outside the book club books. So please stay a while and read from a crag. You know what? I'm just going to say good night, because otherwise we're going to go on another diatribe. So good night.
Good night, everybody.